think they'll know in their absence of Macy Boyle that there's a big effort to be made tonight, not one that's outside of their grasp. But I think that's just a reminder, like, hey, we need to lock in.
100%. I saw something similar happen a couple of years ago. I don't know if you recall Melbourne Boomers winning the WNBL Championship.
I do. My longtime mentor, Guy Malloy. Very happy for him.
That huddle, the way they came out of the change rooms to start the game was everything. The Perth Lynx looked tired. Melbourne Boomers looked in charge, and that's how the game went. Here we go from Kilsyth Sports Centre. Chris Semena and Mark Alabakov on commentary for today's Victorian Youth Championship Grand Final between the Keilor Thunder and the Kilsyth Cobras. We are away. Thank you for your patience while we work through some technical difficulties. We are a go on game day. Quick start from both teams. We were just having a chat about how coming out of the huddle is everything and anything on game day, Mark.
Absolutely, and I think, certainly in these types of games, you want to hit first blood early, get that ball going through the hoop just to get some of the nerves out.
First foul. On the topic of nerves and that, the first foul, the first bucket, first stoppage of any kind definitely takes the edge off.
It absolutely does, and I think getting to the free throw line, it's the only shot that you shoot that has no defense on it. It's a good way to open your account and just settle the nerves.
Pressure falls on the shoulders of Georgia McBean, and she shrugs it right off, hits the first blood to the Cobras from the free throw line. And I think I hear some noise for some travelling Keilor fans in the crowd too. 2 points, Cobras up, and we are a go on game day. Interestingly, Mark, we were having a chat off the air. These two teams played in a qualifying final just a couple of weeks ago, and it was a one-way ball game for the Cobras, so this is going to be an interesting rematch of epic proportions.
It will be, and it's hard to take too much out of that ball game. I mean, everything changes in the grand final as we see a massive three-point shot go up, or be attempted rather, by Hannah Day. Yeah, everything changes in a grand final. I mean, you've got to win 4 quarters. There's no tomorrow.
First three-pointer is banked, and it's good. Hayley Courts gets the Thunder going.
Are you going to do it on me? The bank is open.
The bank is open on the weekend. I usually say that for my announcements, but all good in the hood. Interesting start from both teams. Nothing too overzealous, nothing too cautious. Quick sub already, less than a minute and a half of basketball played, and we've got a sub in. We didn't see that there was a big out for the Thunder, which has some cause for concern here in the commentary box at least. Arneson getting the work done in the post. I do love her grit. I've seen her a couple of times at this level, and just seeing her go to work is impressive.
Well, she's a connective tissue player, so she rebounds, she defends, she does a little bit of everything well. It's kind of that X Factor kind of player that all really good teams, or certainly championship teams, have on their roster.
There goes Salon for 3, and just like that, the Keilor Thunder are in business, already doing better than what they did a couple of weeks ago, Mark.
Yeah, and interestingly, I mean, Keilor's bread and butter is based on paint touches, so getting the ball in the keys. We see a layup in response there by Olivia Jennings, but getting the ball into the key, kicking it out, and having the defense continue to be in rotation, and they live on the three-point line. I think it's almost 1 in every 4 to 5 shots of theirs is a three-point attempt, and they shoot at almost 29%, which seems quite low, but it's certainly been a hallmark of the way that Keilor's played. And they can get on a run. If they catch fire, it could be curtains really early.
Fire, not thunder?
Yeah, that too.
Keilor go to work inside the paint, and they are looking like a much better team than what they did just a couple of weeks ago in the qualifying final. Orla McMahon, the bucket, the assist, Salon. Cobras just swinging around the perimeter for the time being. Three-pointer is good. Oh, so good from McBean. She's got off to a great start today.
Cold-blooded 3 to start this. A great response. You see the championship medal from both of these teams on show early.
And if anyone's going to know championship medal, it is going to be you out of the two of us. It's step back 3 for the Thunder is no good. Here comes Arneson streaming down the right, crossover down the middle. Finds the open 3. Ooh! They are up and about. Quality clutch shot from Jennings. we've got a game on our hands, Mark.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about this Kilsyth team is they keep the engine running. The ball doesn't stop until they create an advantage where they've got some dangerous offensive weapons that can knock down shots.
Bit of contact early, refs are letting it go, happy to let it go for the time being. McMahon fights through traffic, gets the bucket to go. Great give and go there, just couldn't get the bucket on the inside. Here comes Salon. Pocket rocket, she is undersized, but she gives so much in speed. Free on the wing, just short, battle for the ball. Ends up in the hands of McBean. She's got no one in front of her, should finish, does finish.
She's been really crucial to their team. I got to see their final last weekend against the Sandringham Sabres, and she was a real catalyst, a mature head that was able to make plays when they needed it or organize and create for others.
Cullen up top, finds Peterson. Peterson drives, faced with Arneson. They swing back up top via Salon. She puts up a desperate attempt. Keilor could get an O-board. Ball spilled loose. Cobras clean up. Feels very frenetic to start the game. Foul given away by McMahon. Very frenetic start to the game, Mark. There's hard to get any sort of sense of rhythm or break it down. But what have you seen so far? What do you like?
Well, I mean, I think the pace that they're playing with is certainly exemplary of like a fast break style from both teams, and perhaps a little bit of nerves and trying to get some of those out. But one thing that I do like is both teams are playing side to side when they're in the half court. So I just gave props to Kilsyth where the ball doesn't stop and it continues to move till it creates advantage. I think Keilor has done, apart from that very last possession, a pretty good job of doing the same thing. Both teams being able to be dangerous at the basket through contact and also from the kick-out three.
Just on your first comment, is the art of the ball movement dying at some of the top levels? You do see a lot of teamwork and a lot of great pace when it comes to the ball and the workload being shared at these levels.
Yeah, I think that's a tilt, certainly in pro leagues throughout the world. I mean, we're talking about female basketball here, but I use a male example with the NBA. You see a lot of teams that aren't loaded with stars at the top end, but it's rather a sum of efforts, and you've got a lot of players that all contribute that can all be weapons in their own right. And that certainly describes both of these teams.
Tenacious defense there from the Thunder. McMahon manages to slap it out of bounds. It's definitely physical on both ends of the court. Currently, Cobras lead 15 points to 10. Anybody's ball game. The final just a couple of weeks ago was a rather surprising result. Kilsyth 92, Keilor 59. Kilsyth are enjoying the lead at the moment, 17 points to 10. However, this is a shadow of the game that was just a couple of weeks ago. Three-point attempt from the Thunder. They're not shy today, are they?
No. I mean, you want it to be within the context of your offense, and we see the physical pursuit of the basketball there as the foul is drawn. But this Keilor team has been highly successful for a number of years. They've kept a core contingent together under coach Megan Jarvis. She sits on the sideline with multiple seasons of grand final experience, so she's no stranger to this type of a stage. Looking at the early part of this run, certainly the wind is with the sails of Kilsyth as we see a basket scored.
The pick and roll, so simple yet so effective when executed correctly. And now the Keilor traveling contingent are starting to get loud and proud.
Look how the basketball doesn't stop. It continues to move until they create advantage.
Ooh, lucky escape there from the Cobras. The bucket is good on the second attempt. Alyssa Rodriguez potentially lucky to get away with an offensive charge, but she gets the bucket instead.
Now, can we talk about Lily Exton and the rebounding numbers from this athlete? She is phenomenal. Double-digit rebounds, had 25 rebounds. We see a splash three.
Three-pointer is good from Haley Courts.
But Lily Exton's going to be key here. I mean, possession play is really key in finals.
Phenomenal defense. There is a foul called. Caitlin Peterson not too happy with the call. She feels she got all ball, as you were saying.
Yeah, but Exton averaging nearly 19 points a game, 16 rebounds. these tall athletes, strong athletes, they don't get any shorter as the game wears on. So even though there's a frenetic pace, as I say earlier, possession is so important, and that could come to fruition in the third and fourth quarters.
Anderson loses it up 1 inch. Salon gets it going. Ends up with the ball back in her hands. She's quick and composed. Deadly combo for a point guard. Three-pointer from Sweetie Spitzek is not good. It almost seems like a game of chess in certain areas. They're not playing too fast. They are definitely sizing each other up. Wasted opportunity there from the Cobras. Jennings has been on fire. Probably the first bad shot she's taken.
Unlucky to miss on that occasion, but you see, I want you to look for, with this Keilor Thunder team, the way they make the court bigger and wider.
Drains the three. You did not think that was going to go down. McBean says, watch this.
Kilsyth responds with essentially making the same point I was about to praise Keilor for. But they make the court bigger and wider. Look how much space there is inside the three-point arc there, where if they can create an advantage.
Step through.
Case in point, there's the ability to get on the rim, and then the closeout or the help rotation from the opponent has to be really long.
There's a foul called. Is it a foul? Yes, the foul is called. That'll be on Haley Courts once again. Oh, excuse me. No, that's Courts' first personal. All right, we're back underway. Cobras coming up the right via McBean. Manages to hold on to it.
And Tasha Holly in the game with the basketball as we speak.
Almost off the bench on the scoreboard. Great O-board there for Katie Wilson. Excuse me, Lily Exton. Got my numbers back to front, but that's okay. Nice spin move. The attempt is just short. Arneson tries to keep it alive. Can't do so. Do love her work rate so far, though.
Absolutely. And, one of the things, if you're watching the game as one of these fantastic coaches, I'm just seeing a spike in the pursuit of the basketball for offensive rebounds and extra possessions from this Kilsyth team.
Courts gets a nice little bit of space inside and the bucket to go. There's now a three-point differential. This is going to be a seesawing affair if it isn't already marked. The defense from the Thunder is tenacious, and we do know they are missing Macy Boyle today.
Yeah, which is a massive out, right? Averages 30 minutes a game, 18 points per game, 13 rebounds for an athlete who can play essentially 1 through to almost 4. 4.5 assists. She's got the highest plus minus, so she most impacts winning for that Keilor team. Not in the lineup tonight, likely with the NBL 1 team.
The bucket is good that time from Exton. Raises the question, though, can it catch the Cobras off guard if their focus might have been on Boyle?
Yeah, exactly, right? And I think if any team is going to be able to be successful with the sum of the remaining parts, it's this Keilor Thunder team. So they lead the VYC competition in points off the bench. So there's the next player up mentality.
Strip from McBean.
Certainly enough talent to be able to cover for Boyle, but she's a very handy athlete to have on your roster.
Great defensive play there from McBean just to get another possession before time runs out in the first. Arneson goes to work. Unlucky. Unlucky there from Tasha Holly. Salon nearly loses it.
She'll hold for one shot here, I believe.
Crossover through traffic. Shot is short. The foul is called.
Perhaps impulse took over there, saw herself a lane or a runway to the basket and took it. Now everything is pros and cons, right? So she gets herself on the free throw line, but then the downside is the quarter will end in the possession of Kilsyth. And with a stoppage in play, they'll have an opportunity here to diagram an offense. Coach Walsh diagramming a horn set, or signaling rather, for a horn set. Let's see
Second shot is no good, yep.
See if they can execute it.
Execution will be key. Final 10 seconds of the first here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. McBean up top. Plays off the screen from Arneson. Pick and roll. Almost. Arneson short. Great defense there from Salon. Keilor finished with possession. It's a 4-point differential. First quarter of this Victorian Youth Championship Grand Final in the women's division. Kilsyth 24, Keilor 20. Try saying that 10 times really fast, Mark. That is it's a mouthful, but we will get there in the end. What are you liking so far from the visitors, Keilor, considering Boyle is not with the squad tonight? Obviously, we've talked about the next man up mentality as well as the fact that it may not be one player, it might be the squad.
Yeah, well, look, I think there was a couple of times where they looked like they might have been on the ropes. They were down 9 at one stage in the middle of that term. But then, I use the phrasing championship medal, the ability to come in and hit shots and just drag themselves back into the contest, even when the shots came out of half-court execution, not necessarily anything easy, but having shot makers that can make those clutch baskets, put them back into the picture, and then all of a sudden there's scoreboard pressure back on the Kilsyth Cobras, and we get ourselves a ball game out of it. One thing that's concerning, though, and I'm sure Coach Jarvis is addressing this in her huddle, is just the possession play or the threat of extra possessions that the Cobras are getting on the offensive end. It looks like there's let's say, not the full capacity to finish the defensive possession. They do a great job of competing, but then when the ball is live and able to go and get rebounded, they seem to be second to it right now. So I'm sure she's flagging that with her team, because you don't want to give this Kilsyth Cobras team any extra possessions, especially with the amount of size that they've got. They can do some damage, maintain a lead, or even if the Thunder were to go on a run themselves, drag themselves back into the contest just on easy stuff.
Talk to me about the home team. Obviously, some might argue, if you're looking at it on paper, it's Kilsyth's to lose, especially at home, given the way that they won the qualifying final. They've made it through to the grand final on an easier run. It's definitely not an easy game today, but McBean's been on a run herself. Jennings has had a great start. Probably slowed down towards the end of that quarter. Your thoughts on their entry into this grand final?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think Jennings has done a fantastic job scoring the 7 points really early in the contest. You've got 10 for McBean, so the let's say elder stateswomen in the program are standing up tall to give this lead early on.
Excellent, with a great turn straight down the middle, 2 points.
Mate, she is a special athlete. 6 points and 4 rebounds early, and just looks so dominant.
Keilor looking for an option. Spilled loose by Courts, and here come the Cobras. Just short, stops McBean, faced up with Salon. Size mismatch, but Salon gets the better of that.
Yeah, probably not great shot selection in transition, and it's mirrored by Keilor. To pull up and shoot that mid-range shot over the top of people in transition, there's no real clear advantage in those instances. You want to push and try and get something easy.
Steal.
Like this.
What's she going to make of it? Peterson, easy layup. Great hands, great defensive effort. Does it come down to the defensive game today, Mark?
Well, I mean, it absolutely could, but I think in these sorts of finals, you want to create as many easy baskets as you can. I know that's simple to say and not easy to do, but that comes off transition, which is potentially off your defense here, as we see the Thunder get a deflection and steal again.
Another defensive play from the Thunder. There goes Sweeney Spitzek, gets a bucket to go in traffic, and the Thunder find themselves down by 2.
But to make my point, Chris, they're going to get their easy baskets in transition, so off turnovers or on fast breaks. They lead the competition in those 2 stats combined. 26 points they get per game on average just out of those 2 statistics, whereas it's the opposite. It's this interior, physical bully ball and extra possessions from the Kilsyth Cobras that's their version of creating easy baskets, generally off an offensive rebound or second chance points. So it's speed versus brawn in a lot of ways.
Size mismatch in the post results in Salon giving away a foul. Could have been a huge bucket. Salon probably the right play there to pull a foul early and not towards the basket. There goes McBean, spilled loose. Salon picks up the pieces. She's got support. She finds it. Peterson, another layup, points to her teammate.
Be thinking of it. Yeah, we are. We're thinking of a timeout here for Coach Walsh. So you've had 3 possessions in a row where there's been a deflection, which has led to a steal, which has led to a 2-on-1. They do a wonderful job of sharing the basketball and capitalizing on a fast break at the other end.
Timeout in the second quarter. 8 minutes remain. Scores are tied, 26 apiece here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. Chris Semeno with you, Mark Alabakov with me. Championship winner with the Bendigo Braves of the NBL 1 South and the NBL 1 National competition. Wise words and a wise head from a wise man. It's been great to get your insights so far, and wow, what a game we've got. And I think I sound a bit like a broken record already, but this is already an improvement on the game from a couple of weeks ago. It was a one-way win for the Kilsyth Cobras, 92-59. They outscored their opposition in every single quarter and never looked like giving up the lead. They had, I think it was an odd 45 seconds of the first quarter where they might have been, you know, scoreless or tied or what have you. After that, it was one-way traffic. This game has just thrown that completely out the window. It is a grand final spectacle in here.
Yeah, and you've got to use it as compost, right? To grow something bigger and better from it. You shelve or you flush a lot of that result because it sits so much as an anomaly from, you know, how you would regularly play throughout the season. And as a coach, you approach that in a way that just doesn't freak the players out, right? Like, it's on to the next game. You know, we know what we're good at. We know where our identity is. You see pick and roll in the middle here. Ball ending up with Exton.
Great hands, phenomenal defense there from Quartz. There's been a few defensive plays of the Thunder that I've really liked so far, and I think that's what's keeping them in the game, particularly in the second quarter. Quick, clean hands.
Yeah, they do a good job of swarming any interior pass, right? So there's a reaction there to the easy baskets that the Cobras were getting earlier. Now can Kilsyth make the necessary next adjustment to kick the ball out to the perimeter to penalize that overhelping.
Step back three looked good, fell short. There's a battle for the ball. It'll be jump ball in the favor of the home team. Cobras come up with the goods. You've had a couple of grand finals in your time at NBL 1 South level. I've been present for both of those, come to think of it. What was it like transitioning between the two? And what did you glean from those games in terms of nerves and game day atmosphere and everything of the sort? Yeah,
it's a great question. And I think, you know, till you live it, that sentiment that we often hear perhaps related to AFL football, that you've got to get to a grand final and lose it and have the taste of the action and have a sample size before you can go on and win. I mean, that's a real thing, right? It's not that you don't go in with the ability to win or the will to win or the capacity to win, but certainly it hardens you and it desensitizes you to the pressure that you feel at the time, and then reminds you that, like, less is more. Like, can you do less better? The boring things are, you know, fundamental things are often what lead to, or the consistency of those things are what leads to success when it matters most.
Offensive foul given away by the Cobras, and the Thunder are celebrating every little play. That is a mentality you want to see in a game like today. Confidence and just the courage to go forward. Not hesitating, not shying away from the challenge.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of spirit that we see on the floor right now. Now, that can be two things. That can drive a big run, but it can be exhausting as well, you know, knowing we are in the second quarter. So it's a lot of basketball yet to play, but certainly they're on a bit of a run, or dare I say, the Thunder...
Thunder's rolling?
Yeah, or let's say the Cobras are having to weather a storm. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, for sure.
No pun intended.
Not right now, anyway. Salon one-on-one with Exton. Interesting matchup there. There's a foul given away. The three is good. And the Thunder are up and about and up on the scoreboard.
Now, the challenge that you have is not to lose any of your energy or your enthusiasm when teams go on runs. So this Keilor Thunder team is on fire right now. I mean, they're having a purple patch, but they're 1 point up right now. So you can't overthink, you know, perhaps the outcome.
Battle for the boards today is going to occur on both ends of the court. Jennings trying to play a little bit quicker for the Cobras, found no option. There goes the 1-2 with Arneson and McBean, not to be that time. McBean straight down the middle, banks it off the board. Not to be. Here comes Peterson down the other way. Courts, sorry. Salon just calling for some composure. Peterson hanging out on the wing on the 45. Dishes it back to Salon. Down the guts. Fakes the pass. Gets stripped. The call is off the leg. It will be Cobra's ball.
Kilsyth can take a lot out of that defensive possession. They nullified a lot of the advantages that Keilor were trying to create. And ended the possession having the Thunder turn the ball over. So got a real opportunity to start to steer momentum in their favor if they can get a bucket on this possession.
Subs in for the Thunder. Cobra's playing a 1-2 again. Exton and McBean. Ball seeing a lot of their hands right now. Jennings. Off the screen. Round 2 players gets stripped. She's asking for a foul. No foul given, but possession stays with the Cobras.
1.2 seconds left on the shot clock. It's got to be a catch and shoot here from Kilsyth.
Great defensive effort once again from Keilor. They come up with another possession, and the Keilor crowd is getting up and about. Up by 1. It's a real battle out there today.
One thing to keep in mind as well, you've got both of the coaches with timeouts in hand. 5 minutes to go. They don't carry through to the second half. So you get an opportunity to control momentum or seek a specific advantage. If there's anything that pops into your vision, as we see a big-time bucket, mid-range jumper.
Sarah Carr with a nicely timed jump shot. Exton goes to work in the post, gets the foul. Probably lucky to escape with a bit of a hook. Ref has called the foul on Sarah Carr.
It's a great result for them too. I mean, anytime that you can get to the free throw line, it takes the sting out of the game. Everybody pauses. You know, I used the tongue-in-cheek line earlier that it's the only shots that you shoot without defenders on you.
It's not to say it can't be a tough shot in the right circumstance.
Right, but it gives everybody the opportunity to have a deep breath. As we see Coach Walsh motion to his players 2-3, so they're going to have a zone change up here on this possession, see if they can disrupt the rhythm of the Thunder.
Exton's put in a great shift thus far. She will take a break.
You see the Cobras take that shape, so they're trying to shrink space around the keyway.
There goes Peterson for 3, just short. Wilson gets the rebound. Trying to play a long ball to Arneson. Jazz Salon, wow. She's been all over the place, and she does not look like stopping today. Absolute pocket rocket.
Has had big game experience for the Thunder, has had multiple tastes of NBL 1 level, so she's no stranger to not only a game with this type of gravity, but even tiers of high-level senior women's basketball as well.
Wilson got caught up top. McBean, the step-back 3, looks good, is good, sinks it.
Stop it. My goodness.
That was some clutch-level play right there. I get the feeling it's not the only one we're going to see today. Cobras find themselves back up by 2. 33 plays 31. Salon plays off the screen for 3. Ball almost spilled loose. Cobras clean up. McBean up the left now. Little handoff to Jennings. Arneson hasn't seen a bucket, but she has done a lot of work. As I say just there, she tries to get the boards. Jump ball will end up in the hands of the Thunder.
A missed opportunity on that particular possession. If you touch the ball, you've got to grab it, and especially where possession matters so much in finals. We'd love to see Arneson snatch that ball and put in a layup. She had the smaller Jazz Salon on her back rather as well.
Mind you, Jazz has outplayed a couple of her opposition today that have been obviously bigger size than her. She's done well. Nice inside find to Courts. Fakes the shot. Puts it up the second time. No good. Comes streaming down the other end. Wilson was closely followed there by Courts. Cobras keep the ball.
So the Cobras' defensive change-up to go to that 2-3 zone has proved beneficial. They've been able to get their mojo back on the offensive end through getting a few stops as well. So we see the reverse layup.
Oh, that would have been so good. Arneson cleaning up on the boards. Tips it out of bounds, unfortunately.
Yeah, unlucky in that possession, but that's what I'd love to see from her to continue to do. So she really pursued that, tried to lock the basketball up. She got too close to the baseline in that particular instance, but that's the fire that I'd love to see her play with, because she's a long athlete and she's got a knack, or a nose rather, for rebounding the ball.
Three-pointer no good. Rebound Jennings. Streams forward. They're outnumbered, the Cobras. There goes McBean to work. Swinging the ball right around to Wilson up top. Goes around the defense. Can't get it to go. Arneson on the boards. She's just not letting it, not getting it to drop for her, unfortunately.
Unlucky in that instance. I think it's starting to become momentum Cobras. So if you're Coach Jarvis, if there's a basket, or if you find that your offense against the zone isn't trending to get you the types of shots that you're looking for, maybe use of a timeout, but we see one taken by Coach Walsh from the Cobras instead.
There we go, timeout called. 2 minutes 14 remaining in the second. Cobras leading 33 to 31. I was just thinking on your point with Crystal Arneson in particular. Do you prefer a chase down on a rebound, or how's a tap to advantage? If it's not working in a situation like Arneson, where she's putting in all the work, we see her getting to the ball, just not getting it to drop. Is it time to change up the tactics a little bit, perhaps?
It's a great question. Look, I think there's the answer, as cop-out as it is it depends. Sometimes tapping to advantage where you can go and pursue it is a beneficial thing. But I think as a coach, I mean, certainly you would want to steer your athlete towards, I use the phrasing, if you can touch it, you need to grab it. Possession is so important, and can you go and run through that ball almost like you're an AFLW full forward and you're going to mark the ball? I think if you can lock it up, there's far more to be gained, or more of a link to success rate, let's say, rather than tapping to your advantage. But then it goes a layer further. So if you rebound the ball and you're facing the basket, I would encourage players to go back up with it, right? If you rebound the ball and you're facing away from the basket, and then that's when you want to try and find your best three-point shooter on the perimeter.
Wise words from Wise Man, as I said earlier. Thunder get the ball going again here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes remaining in the second. Salon fakes a three. Finds courts. Three-pointer is no good. Threes flying around left, right, and centre. None are dropping thus far in the second. Nice hands there from Peterson, just to tip it out of bounds. Keilor doing a great job of
disrupting?
Thank you. Disrupting the momentum of the Cobras. The same can't be said on the other end of the court as much.
What I'd love to see from Coach Jarvis with the Thunder, you've got 2 timeouts in hand, and there's 2 minutes to go in this quarter. You can control the circumstance offensively, or perhaps defensively, to put yourself, or your team rather, in a really advantageous position to finish off this half.
Subs in for both teams. Very interesting subs. Orla McMahon comes in for the Thunder. She gets to work straight away on the Cobras' newest sub. Exton back in the game. Foul given away.
Now, the challenge with Exton is she pursues the offensive glass, and she does a wonderful job of it. She's strong, but she gets positioning deep. The first port of call, prevention's the best cure. Can you not allow her to get that body position?
Great work there from Amy Collin. I thought she was doing pretty well just to keep the hands off, just a tiny bit overzealous in her positioning. Just leaning that little bit too far forward, giving away the foul.
So this would be a good opportunity, if we're talking tactical play, for the Thunder to take a timeout, put Lily Exton on ice before she's got to come back and shoot the free throws, let her cool down some, but then you can diagram something, knowing that there's the chance that there's going to be that 2-3 zone. You can really orchestrate what you want on the offensive end.
2 for 2 from the line for Exton. Cobras up, 35-31 Thunder. Swinging the ball around the perimeter, not penetrating just as yet, taking their time. Long three from Salon, probably not the right shot. Rebound Jennings. She's outnumbered, so she will hold up the ball. Arneson up top.
Well, I think all 5, or maybe 5 of the last 6 shot attempts You see another big basket there from Georgia McBean. From the Thunder have been three-point attempts, which, you know, the zone baits you into shooting, and it's not a bad shot. But can you get a paint touch? Like, there's two targets that I can see here from the Keilor Thunder to throw the ball into. This is where something good can happen.
Great fake. Almost on the right wavelength. Stripped by Arneson. Corner three from the Cobras is short. Down the left side. Courts. Back to Cullen. Cullen in the ever-reliable hands of Salon. Out to Peterson.
Nice.
Courts. Great spot. Great shot selection. Just can't get it to drop. Long ball. McBean is all alone. Almost. Wise choice there to slow it up, perhaps. Would you have liked to have seen a drive? Yeah,
I'd like to see her stay aggressive. But I think, you know, looking at the shot clock, I think that's where her awareness went. Opting to perhaps try and hold the ball for the last shot. But they get themselves on the free throw line regardless. So here's another opportunity for a potential timeout. I mean, you just want to try and throw everything that you can to disrupt the rhythm of the opponent when they've gone on a run, especially a team as dangerous as the Cobra is playing at home. You just don't want to give them a sniff.
You don't want to give anyone a sniff, particularly at home, but this is a loud crowd here today. Ola McMahon giving away the foul in results in Hannah Day, hitting not one but two free throws. And the Kilsyth Cobras with a little bit of breathing space towards the end of the second quarter. 39 plays 31 and subs in for the Cobras. You'd imagine final play of the quarter, barring a miracle.
Absolutely.
Salon calling the shots. Gets a screen from McMahon. Plays off it. Steps back for a sec. Drives right through traffic. Phenomenal drive. Can't get the bucket to go. Arneson thought about holding it up. Nearly gave it away. The quarter ends. And we are in for a second half of epic proportions. Cobras 39. Thunder 31. Everything to play for, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who would have seen this coming, especially the way that the end of that first quarter was trending, obviously, towards the Keilor Thunder, but Kilsyth's done a wonderful job of being able to stick to their style, impose their identity on the game. They're competing for rebounds. They're getting the ball inside. They disrupted the flow of the Thunder by going to that 2-3 zone, and then what that did is force the Thunder to start to shoot around the perimeter and not perhaps execute with the same level of speed that they were, you know, advantageous with earlier. And then it led to long rebounds that allowed the Cobras to be able to get and push down the floor themselves and then open up an 8-point lead to finish the first half.
So if it was a boxing match or a fight of sorts, you'd argue that the Cobras probably struggled to get out of the gates but finished the round strongly at the end of the quarter there. What are you liking from the Cobras? They're obviously holding the lead just. The Thunder are not to be pushed over today, but the Cobras just doing enough to inch their way out in front a little bit more that second quarter.
Yeah, you're right. And look, I think they're doing a wonderful job of getting scores in transition, especially out of that 2-3 zone. So I think, I mean, you've still got to lean into that as a concept because it's paying dividends, not only in forcing out of rhythm shots from the Thunder, but it's getting you chances to get out and get on the break. And I mentioned earlier about trying to get as many easy baskets as you can, and you know, the ones in transition usually is the way that the Thunder play, but this is how Cobras have gotten themselves a lead in this second quarter. One of the things that they've done a wonderful job of is being able to get their guns, the type of shots that they like to shoot. So you've got McBean with 15 points. I mean, she in a lot of ways could be, if she continues on this path, on her way potentially to a grand final MVP type of performance. You've got Exton, who's got the 12 points on the board despite only playing 12 minutes. So that's wonderful production. 7 rebounds as well. Jennings had a real spike in the first quarter to get them going. You know, they've got a real opportunity for themselves to open up a lead here coming into the second half if they can continue on this trend. Now, to the flip side, if you're Keilor, Coach Jarvis, you get an opportunity to reset, right? I mean, imagine the scores are 0-0. You don't want to be too responsive to whatever's happening on the scoreboard, but stay process-oriented. And then the fact is, the difference for mine, you know, they were able to strangle the Cobras with defensive pressure, but it's hard to do that when you're having a whole lot of perimeter shots that end in transition layups and you're playing in the flow or the speed of transition, you can't exert the same amount of pressure because you're not matched up, and you're not matched up on the people that you want to be matched up to. So I think this break in play needs to be wholly about what do they want to do with the 2-3 zone when they see it. How will they orchestrate a zone attack? Not only just, how will they play against it in the half court, but how can they avoid dealing with it? Maybe that's beat it down the floor. Can they get more pursuit at the end of the possessions for offensive rebounds? But, I mean, they need to create higher quality paint touches first, or paint touch, then kick out three-point shots against the zone. And then you'll find that they'll be able to go on a run and make a ball game of it as well.
Have the Keilor Thunder been a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Not overconfident necessarily, but have they pulled the trigger a little bit too early, been a bit premature in some of their shot selections? We just had a brief look at the graphic for three-point shooting. Both teams have got 4 for the game. The Thunder 4 of 18. They are shooting at quite a high clip. The Cobras, on the other hand, 4 of 7, so it does look much better, but are the Thunder just doing a little bit too much at the moment?
Look, I just think that they've got to get on the same page with how they want to deal with that tactical adjustment from Kilsyth to go to the 2-3 zone. So everything, as cliche as it is, it's a chess match, right? So it was chess move by the Thunder, climb in defensively, create a whole lot of trouble. Then there was chess move from the Cobras to be able to make adjustments, handle that, then go back into, pump the ball inside, get themselves on the free throw line, slow the game down, then go back into the 2-3 zone. So then it's advantage Cobras. Now the next move needs to come from the Thunder. They're the ones that need to respond, to open up this second half.
So far, just having a look at the spread of the score sheet, you've got the bulk of the lifting being done by McBean and Exton on the scoring front for the Cobras, and a couple of other contributors. Exton herself, she's on double-double watch already, 7 rebounds, a couple shy there of a double-double. Arneson has herself a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists. McBean, as we said, might be on MVP watch, pending the result.
For mine, she is, absolutely. 2
rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Olivia Jennings having a great shift as well. 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. So a couple of heavy performers there for the Cobras. On the other hand, the Thunder, the spread is much more even. It does look more like a team game when you look at the numbers on paper. But who would you like to see step up a bit more for the Thunder? They're trying to stick to their sets and trying to execute the plays. You see Salon with the ball in her hands, but she's calling, she's leading her team. Who would you like to see step up come the premiership quarter, if you will?
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't think it's any one person. I think it's going to be some of the parts in a lot of ways. I know that sounds like a real cop-out answer, but when you have Macy Boyle out of the lineup and she's such a big part of what you do, it isn't, curtains for your season just because she's not here. This is a very talented basketball team, and as I mentioned earlier, they lead the competition in points off the bench, by which they get 27 as an average. So it's a chip in from everybody. In a lot of ways, I think the ball needs to be in Jazz Salon's hands early in the possession and get her to look to push a whole lot of the action, but then it needs to finish with her as well. So she needs to push, see what she has, advance it up early or across the court, and then get her into motion and have the ball finish. If it doesn't create a shot within the side-to-side flow of the play, have it finish in her hands, because she's a wonderful scorer. She's very, very fast. Generally makes the right play off the dribble. She can pass the basketball as well as be able to score it. So, I think she's got to be a catalyst for this Thunder team to really get themselves back into ascendancy. Now, when I say ascendancy, I mean we're talking there's 4 baskets in it. It's really very little. But she would be a match winner. If we talk about who's on MVP watch for their lineup, for mine it would be a big second half from Jazz Salon.
She has herself 4 points, 3 boards, 5 assists, and a steal to go to her name. So not a bad shift thus far. Definitely plenty more to give. Scoring leaders for the Thunder, well, take your pick really. There's a couple of players on 6. McMahon, Peterson on 6. On 5 points, you got Sweeney Spitzek, Sarah Carr, Haley Courts. Jazz Salon has herself 4. Like I said, it's much more spread, but there's definitely a lot of work to be done if they're to get themselves back up into any sort of ascendancy in the second half. Having a look at the season as a whole, though, they did finish just 1 game different from each other on the ladder, so not a whole lot in it. I think you mentioned it earlier, the anomaly came in the qualifying final where it just seemed to be a blowout win for the Cobras that looked unlike anything that the season might have suggested.
Yeah, and what that is, often in both instances, the anomaly is a real test of your culture, right? So do you get, too overconfident, excited, inflate perhaps the opinion of how you're going? I had a high school basketball coach who always used to say you're most vulnerable when you think you can't lose. And, certainly we've seen in any sport that you can think of, sometimes that can tap in. I'm not saying that's the instance here, but that's the threat that if you're coaching, you want to avoid at all costs or look for signs of and shut it down. But then the opposite is true, right? Like it's not a picture of how you're going if you're on the losing end of those big losses in a final. I mean, anything can happen. Teams play out of their skin. Finals are often like the Super Bowl for a lot of teams, and you'll have a lot of athletes put in an anomaly match of their own where they come out and they don't miss a shot, or someone who comes off the bench hits 5 or 6 threes when they might have hit 5 or 6 threes for the entirety of the season. It's a chance for stars to be made in the playoffs, and you can't overthink it or overvalue it. If it sits outside the norm of the trend line of how your season's going, you've got to just flush it and get back to being process-driven. If it were me, I probably wouldn't even show film of it. I'd just get back on the horse so that at practice you wouldn't have known whether we won by 50 or lost by 50. It looks the same as any other practice throughout the week, and I think that consistency speaks to the culture that you have.
Definitely. Both teams showing great signs of morale on the day. No one's really giving an inch. No one's panicking. No one's overconfident. Keilor Thunder obviously getting up and about, supporting their teammates, but nothing over the top, which is great to see. Both teams definitely need to come out composed and level-headed. This quarter in particular, it's going to set up a great stanza, whatever the result is in the fourth.
Now, if body language Dr. Mark can put his tinfoil hat on, there's certainly a quiet confidence coming from this Cobras team as you see them walk back onto the floor. You can often tell, I mean, it's not always an exact science because we don't sit in the huddle, but a team that gets their message across within the huddle, they're back out on the court ready to play, often correlates with really good signs in how the players are feeling and how confident they are with the clarity of the message coming from the coaching staff.
Thunder, on the other hand, come out of the halftime huddle looking like they're ready to work. Game is back underway here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. Chris Semeno on commentary with you, Mark Alabakov on specials with me. And the first bucket is good. Off the bench, on the scoreboard, Hannah Day.
I mean, that's probably something we didn't talk about enough. Hannah Day is a wonderful three-point shooter, shooting at 40%. She's dangerous, not only at VYC level, but even NBL 1. You see a blocked three-point shot attempt.
Huge shot.
Yet to hit the scoreboard.
Stolen back from Salon, gets the bucket. She's happy with that one. Might have taken a knock too.
MVP watch for the Thunder. But Hannah Day, her first basket was that last possession. So smart from the coaching staff to run an action to get her going.
McBean to Wilson. Nice 1-2 pass. Ball did not touch the ground once. 43-33. Biggest lead of the game thus far for the Cobras. 10 points.
I love that Coach Walsh hasn't changed their defensive structure. So they're still in this 2-3 zone. It's caused headaches for the Thunder.
Peterson fakes out to Courts. The shot was well short. Looked good. Ball in by Day, finds McBean. Just looking to her coach just for a little bit of guidance before getting back underway. Guarded closely by Salon. That's a great matchup there.
Well, when we talk about being on MVP watch, and I say that with the utmost respect for the way that Georgia McBean goes about it. You watch her every possession, she catches, she's got her head up, she's scanning left to right, she eyes the shot clock, she's always aware, and what you're aware of, you can make decisions or more of the right decisions based on, as we see another fantastic interior pass. But it's not, she's a leading scorer in the game with 15 points, but it's not that's standing out to me. It's just like she's a catalyst for winning. She's the straw that stirs the drink, if we use a Bill Simmons analogy.
Third personal on Thunder's Orla McMahon. Not a great start to the third. Subs being forced in to a degree. Sarah Carr comes in. McMahon probably might not see it till the end of the third, if not the fourth. And the ball is thrown in loose. Salon, one-on-one. Can't go through traffic. Carr picks up the pieces. Jennings gets the boards. Jump ball stays with the Thunder.
But look, even though that didn't turn up trumps for the Thunder, I like the persistence. So the push of the ball, I mentioned earlier about getting Jazz Salon trying to get on the rim. They get the ball kicked out. There's a shot attempt on it. They pounce on the rebound. They lock it up. Possession arrow goes to them. Now they've got the ball again.
Fake by Salon. One step too many. Travel is the call. I feel like it's a bit of a stalemate at the moment with the exception, well, with the inclusion of the 2 buckets for both teams. Watch this space. 43 still plays 33, just over 8 minutes remaining in the third. There goes Day. Board taken by Wilson. Jump ball is a call, goes to the Cobras this time.
So it'll be their 6th offensive rebound. So keep an eye on that. That possession play and rebounding of the basketball, really, really critical in big games like this.
Both teams not really high on the second chance points today. In particular, Keilor the only one on the board on the second chance points. Anything can happen. Quick hands from Salon, gets the ball off the Cobras. Great defensive play once again. A few more stops like that, converting a couple of points, and we have a different ball game on our hands. Yeah,
well, this is the key. They need to convert. But where the ball's gone out of bounds, now you give an opportunity for the defense to get back and set. They're staying in that 2-3 zone because the Thunder haven't troubled it as yet.
Salon fakes the pass. Finds Courts the 3, and another one that just hasn't dropped. Great work rate from Alyssa Rodriguez to keep it alive, and the Thunder have another go. It's those 1%ers that you can't put in a statistic that makes all the difference. 45-3 is off the mark. There goes Rodriguez battling for the ball again. Cobras take the dominance, and here they go. Day up top, closely guarded by Carr. Stolen from Peterson. No one in front of her. Easy layup once again. And she's calling for some backup. Full court press now by the Thunder.
Now, I love that happened because it makes a point I was about to address where, you know, as I mentioned earlier, the change of possession and the deflection that went out of bounds. We see one opportunity here for the Cobras. The deflection that went out of bounds that allowed the Cobras to get their defense back and set, like, you want that pressure, but you don't want to allow the defense to get back and put it the time into getting into this zone that has been giving you trouble. You need to try and exert some pressure up the floor so that you don't have to deal with the zone. So like they did in that last possession, steal layup, you want to try and get live ball turnovers if you're the Thunder.
Arneson converts a 3-point play. Subs in for the Cobras. Exton back out there for the Thunder. Cullen.
There you go.
Potato. There we go.
But it came off the back of 2 paint touches, right? So the ball got passed in, then it got dribble penetrated in. They get a high percentage basket. Great offense there from the Thunder.
McBean switches to the weak side. High arcing 3, foul on the shot. And unfortunately for Cullen, she is in disbelief that the foul was called. A 3-point play opportunity for the Cobras. The home team loved that one.
Yeah, unlucky in that instance. Must have caught a little bit of arm as judged by the referee. But, I mean, you see why there was such an urgency to chase down Hannah Day. As mentioned earlier, she's a 40% 3-point shooter. At the very least here, I mean, you force her to earn all 3 points via 3 free throws.
She gets the first, second looks just as good.
And obviously very capable, but a lot harder than
oh yeah,
than just hitting one.
Game's 11 points, 48 plays 37. 3 for 3. Now in that instance, would you have preferred the foul stop the shot or you know, not give away the foul? The last 2 fouls I feel from the Thunder were probably a bit unnecessary to a degree.
Yeah, I'd say not give away the fouls. I think in those instances, when you're chasing down a shooter, you've got to go with your contesting arm to be the same as the shooting arm of that deadly shooter. So right arm to right arm, and that helps get your body out of the road.
Great look at the bucket there from Jennings. Doesn't get it to drop, though. This game is back and forth. Not many buckets being had this quarter. Nice cut through there from Courts. Last two cut throughs for the Thunder. It looks good. They just can't get them to convert. There goes Carr. Desperate hook. Thunder, third opportunity at an offensive play. Can't be giving away the ball like that if you're the Cobras. But for the Thunder, you want to be converting these shots. Salon, step back, is short.
I like the mentality, the playing to win pursuit of the ball by Caitlin Peterson.
Nice turn there from Exton. Great play, 2 points for her.
Now the Cobras have opened up their biggest lead of the game. This is starting to get out of hand. It's a great time for Coach Jarvis to intervene with a timeout if they don't capitalize on this particular possession.
Cullen on the 45. Finds Salon. 3. Short once again. Battle for the ball. Jennings comes up with it. On the right. Slows it up. Rightfully so. Exton up top. She's not going to slow up. She's going to go right to the rack. Double team. Foul given away. Exton back to the line. And it's all Cobras basketball at the moment, Mark.
I mentioned earlier that she's such a special athlete. You know, the agility for a player of her height, if I'm not mistaken, she's still an under-18 athlete.
Yeah, right.
So to be able to find space, spin in response to the help defender coming so that she's got some air space to be able to get her shot off, play through the contact, get herself on the free throw line. Special, special player, Lily Exton.
Wilson subs in for Day. Exton hits the first, and I think it's also a generational thing where the role of your center, of your big person inside is more than just being a rim protector and a paint protector. Being able to handle position, footwork is all coming to fruition at once, and she's showing great signs of great potential. 53 plays, 37, 4.5 minutes remain in the third at Kilsyth Sports Centre. Cobras enjoying the ascendancy here in the third. Peterson to Courts, fakes a shot, drives to the post, and the shots are just not dropping for the Thunder in this quarter, Mark.
Yeah, and I liked the hunting of offensive rebounds earlier because I think that's your only response, right? Like, I mean, you want to create high-quality shots, but no one shoots the ball to miss. So sometimes it feels like there's a lid on the ring, so that's where your effort has to go up.
Shot off the mark. Ball tipped out. It'll be Thunder ball. Double sub for the Thunder as McMahon and Sweeney Svitek back into the game.
I want to point to that shot contest by Haley Courts. That was exactly what I was talking about earlier. Right arm to right arm, gets her body out of the road of the shooter, so then there's no threat of the foul, but your hand in the shot pocket, it bothers the shot enough to be able to throw it off.
Courts to Peterson. Peterson looking for an option. Nice little pick and roll there. And it works dividends. Finally a bucket drops via Orla McMahon. And the Thunder back on the board. First time what feels in a long time.
And credit to her, she caught the ball high and kept it high, so there's less delay. I mean, to put it to the floor, there would have been a chance for smaller guards to come in and poke it loose. Could be the start of something here for the Thunder.
Jennings plays a 1-2 with Wilson. Wilson on the weak side to McBean for 3. Salon cleans up the boards. Already her eyes are up. Stolen by Arneson. She's got no one in front of her unless Salon can catch up. Clean strip. Phenomenal defensive play. You knew it was one way or another. It was a foul or it was a bucket, and then we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Cobras 53, Keilor 39, but Keilor getting a slight swing of momentum in that last half a minute.
They really did, and you could see the energy within all 5 athletes. They all went up a level. I'm confused by the timeout, though, because it's a potential chance for you to kill your own momentum. I would have liked to see the Thunder continue on this little run and see what they were able to get, but there might be a plan in place here from Coach Jarvis. You know, sometimes in these instances, there might be a defensive change-up. She sees an opportunity, so there might be something to come out of that to try and ride this wave of energy with a tactical adjustment and see if they can cut this thing to single digits before the fourth quarter. If you're Coach Walsh, in a lot of ways, you can frame this as being gifted, a chance to kill the momentum, and you too can offer something as a complete change-up. But the challenge that, or rather the opportunity that you have, is that you have the ball on your baseline. So it's a free swing at an orchestrated play, and if they want to get somebody going or get someone a particular shot type, they've been gifted this opportunity by the opponent calling the timeout with the ball where it is. So we'll see who is able to maximize, what comes next out of that break in play.
Nearly 3 minutes of scoreless basketball for the Thunder definitely won't have helped their chances. Back underway. McBean, guarded by Salon, drives right through her, can't get it to go. Exton, the second chance points for the Cobras.
And see, well-orchestrated play to get McBean a drive to the basket. You've got to know where Exton is on the flight time of the shot. Wonderful offensive rebounder. You can't let her get near it.
Great ball movement shown from the Thunder coming out of that timeout. All through traffic. Great spot. Who gets the boards? It's the Thunder. There goes Peterson. Great work right there from her just to get that ball back.
I'm a big fan of her playing to win mentality in this quarter, as we see her go and contest the rebound again.
Great work there from Salon, trying to keep the ball alive, dribbling while she's on the floor. How many players do you see do that?
Not enough. Not enough, but it correlates with winning.
I get shades of, correct me if I'm wrong, I get shades of Kelly Wilson out of her in terms of what she provides for her team.
Yeah, well, I mean, first, Kelly Wilson is one of one.
Of course,
but
of
certainly embodies winning traits, like that.
Back underway. There he goes. Sweeney Spitzek tries to get it to go, can't get it to go. Hot potato basketball in the air. Thunder win it back.
It's Peterson with the steal and the deflection, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next thing for her is to be more aggressive offensively. I think her team is feeding off the energy that she's playing with.
Salon drives through, loses it. There she goes. Is it banking? No.
But that's okay. I think these are the shots that she needs to take. She's going to be a pillar of strength for them if they're going to arm wrestle themselves back into the contest.
McBean finds Day. Closely guarded by Peterson. Closely guarded. Great defensive work there from Caitlin Peterson. McBean, nice little bounce pass into Wilson. Wilson can't get it to go. 3 Thunder players to 1 Cobra. Thunder get the possession.
Very proactive from the Thunder to come and contest everything. The challenge being, as we mentioned earlier, they come up with the ball on the back of a really good defensive possession, but it's off an inbound, so it's not a live ball turnover where Keilor can do what they do best, and that's push the ball. They now have to deal with a defense that's back and set.
Talk to me about building blocks. It's obvious that the Keilor Thunder can't. Whoa! Oh my goodness! 3-pointer off the backboard. First one we've seen in a long time. Talk to me what's next. They can't get the lead back in this quarter, but they can certainly get momentum their way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a mentality shift. Like, look at the change in demeanor. That's going to give you a chance. Here's a live ball turnover. Now they've got to push.
Can they get back-to-back buckets? Back-to-back stops, back-to-back buckets. Nice bounce pass in, back out to Salon. Plays off the screen. McMahon the screen, Salon the 3. Their tails are up, that's for sure. Thunder ball.
But they're persistent, right? And there was a period of time where they weren't creating predictable shots that they could go and rebound. And that was what allowed the Cobras to open up this lead that we see currently. But on the season, 40% is their offensive rebounding rate. That means out of every 10 shot attempts that miss, they get 4 of them back. And you can see the persistence.
Great call from the referee. There was a contest for the ball. Bit of a push there from Hannah Day. The home crowd don't like it, but it was a clear forearm extension.
Look, Orla McMahon going to compete for that puts the referee in a bind where there's a 50-50 call to be made, and now they're the beneficiary of it.
Double teamed was McMahon. given away there by Emily Marinkovic. Not ideal for the Thunder as the Cobras will close out the quarter, you'd imagine. Still a few seconds between shot clock and game clock, about a 5-second differential. McBean heads ahead with Peterson. Screened by Exton. Gets the ball, little shoulder. The call is a block, and the Thunder are in sheer disbelief on the bench.
Now, unfortunate. Look, we're all human. I'd likely be upset. I thought that Lily Exton got away with a little bit of an extension of her arm.
By the same token, if they're not in a defensive position 9 times out of 10, the offensive team is going to get the benefit of the doubt, no?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And, I mean, once the referee's call is made, it's made, and you've got to move on and have a next play mentality. But look, the good thing is the Thunder will end with possession here if they can get themselves a quick hitting shot with this 7.5 seconds left to go in the quarter. Smart from Jazz Salin not to touch the ball.
Unlucky on the layup. Cobras will finish with the ball. And surely the Cobras, might it be too early, but they are peaking at the championship at this point. 3 quarters done and dusted here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. Cobras lead 57, Keilor Thunder 42. Keilor doing well to get themselves back into this game after a scoreless 3-minute stretch in that third quarter. Didn't help their chances, but they did get back in the game with some key defensive plays and a bank shot of a 3 that caught us all by surprise, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I mean, if we're looking at the tail of the tape, so to speak, the last 2 quarters, so Q2 and Q3, where Kilsyth has had that defensive change-up on a dead ball possession or a score, to go back to that 2-3 zone, it's stifled the offensive potency of the Keilor Thunder, held them to 11 points in both quarters.
Ooh.
So, that becomes a problem because this Keilor team is very, very capable of hitting a hot streak on the offensive end and having a wonderful quarter that puts them in a winning position. Now, on the flip side, their work rate has gone up with the predictability of their shooting and then their pursuit of offensive rebounds, which I've spoken ad nauseum about. They had 7 in that quarter, 6 for the first half combined. So, a real change in mentality, I think in a lot of ways led by Caitlin Peterson. She had 3 in that quarter alone, really driving a whole lot of the energy in that side of things to try and keep the basketball alive. But scoreboard pressure is going to be important here. They've got to still have an answer for the zone and then find a way to try and turn over this Kilsyth team and not allow them to play in rhythm and punch the ball inside like they have been.
The efforts put in by Caitlin Peterson are exactly what you want to see from your captain on a game of this sort of magnitude. As I was saying towards the end of that quarter before we were interrupted by a phenomenal 3-pointer, in your own experience, you got the building blocks to mount a comeback in the fourth. What's your priority coming out of the gates, particularly as the Cobras will be on the defensive end for the start of this fourth, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if I
am mistaken, as a matter of fact, so...
That's okay. Look, I mean, you've got to sell, I think, 2 things. There might be one subtlety, and I mean, this is the art of coaching. This is where, I mean, coaches, we can be fast-tracked with the science of it, but the art of being in the trenches and being in these experiences counts, and it can't be replicated. Do you sell them on something defensively that's going to be the catalyst for disruption or stalling? Depends if you want to speed the team up or slow them down, the team that you're playing. But you've got to point to essentially the meat and potatoes, the boring fundamentals, possession play like this, offensive rebounds. Can you push the ball and try and get stuff in transition off kick aheads or kicks opposite? Can you get on the free throw line? Those 3 things as streams of offense need to continue to be seamless for you, and that's what eats into the margin. You're not going to get back into a contest in a key game like this just playing half-court O versus half-court D for the quarter.
Frenetic start to this fourth. Everything to play for. Nothing left on the court. It's the final 10 minutes of the Victorian Youth Championship Grand Final. Cobras with a couple of chances at an offensive play, and they've not gotten the rub of the green. The referees call Thunder possession. There is a lot of ball movement and not a lot of conversion. Only 40 seconds barely have elapsed in this fourth. Quick sub in for the Cobras. Hannah Day checks in for Jennings. Salon showing some great work ethic on the defensive end as well. There goes McMahon, dishes out. Peterson fakes the three. Back up top to Salon. Nice dribble behind the back. Great no-look pass inside to McMahon. Shot is short. Another jump ball. There has been more than a handful of those in today's game. It just goes to show how tenacious both teams want that basketball.
Absolutely.
Marinkovic, quick dish. Almost catches the Cobras napping. They do. Salon with the corner three. Chipping away, that's all they need. Full court press from the Thunder. Almost stolen by Marinkovic. Off the bench, and she's shown some great energy.
Yeah, almost. And I mean, that's an instance where I point to if you can touch it, you got to grab it. That would have been a huge possession, but nonetheless, a great way to just cast a bit of doubt.
That's all that they need, just a little bit. McBean drives down the right, dishes out to Day. The shot is no good. Salon, another rebound.
I like this. Look at the push of the ball. She's in space.
Three for me. Oh my! Three-pointer Marinkovic. It's a 9-point ball game. Timeout. You look like you've clicked into coaching mode, Mark.
Yeah, I've sat forward in my chair. Look, there's I don't have a horse in the race. This is a wonderful response by them, but it's a great example of the quality of basketball in the VYCW competition. So now Keilor cuts it to a 9-point deficit. They've got back-to-back threes. Now there's two things, right? So they're now 7 of 29 from the 3-point line, which isn't a flattering percentage, but I point to how do you come back in these sorts of games? I mentioned early, you've got to push and see what you can get quickly in transition. Now that's been part of their identity, so God love them. They're shooting without conscience and they're thinking process-oriented. This is what we do. We shoot these shots and we have confidence that the ball's going to get rolling at some point. But it's Jazz Salon, MVP watch if the Thunder will be able to get back into this one. Push in transition. They open the court wide, kick it in, paint touch, kick out, 3-point shot. Now there's an opportunity for some momentum. But it's the counter move now from Keilor. How do the Cobras respond?
If we're talking about MVP watch, pending the result, obviously, Jazz Salon's been everywhere and anywhere. But Caleb Peterson, 11 points, 4 rebounds, assists, and steals as well to her name. So she's done a fair bit of work. Full court press. Yeah,
it's the 2-2-1 press. So they're trying to slow down at the moment or speed up. There you go, a bit more pressure. So they're trying to speed up.
Porque no los dos. And a shot on the turn from Exton is no good.
And this is the tempo that I want to see from Salon if I'm Coach Jarvis. Bang.
Oh, my goodness me. 3 3-pointers, and they have stripped the lead right down to 6 out of the gates from the third. Cobras trying not to panic. Exton, rebound. Layup is no good. Artisan fought for the rebound. Thunder basketball. And suddenly the tide is shifting heavily in here.
Yeah, potentially here. I mean, they've made 3 straight threes.
Do they go for another, or do they just start chipping away? What?
I think you make the play that you see, not the one that you want. If it eventuates like that out of the context of your offense, not a problem, right? But the ball's got to go inside and have the precursor that the ball has to get into red paint before it comes out to a 3-point shooter, then have at it.
Jennings just gets it over the half in time. Exton finds Day on the inside. Overcooks the shot, gets her own rebound. McBean for 3. Well and truly off the mark. Third opportunity for a bucket for the Cobras.
Yeah, possession helps, but certainly where you get up the floor, or the defensive adjustment from Coach Jarvis to go to that 2-2-1 press, a rushed shot is as good as a steal, and that's what's been the catalyst for 2 of the last 3 3-point shots that they've made. So great adjustment there. Puts them now within striking distance. Pun unintended again.
McBean the 3, short.
Okay, so let's speak to the change in mentality, right? And the psychology of these types of games. So where you start rushing shots which is what the Cobras have done for their past 4 or 5 shot attempts. They've attempted 11 three-point shots for the game. I believe 2 of their last 4 shot attempts have been rushed threes in my estimation. So it changes the way that you play if you let it seep in, or the doubt rather seep in.
Great hands from Exton. McMahon all alone on the inside. The tide is well and truly shifted. 6.5 minutes, and this is anybody's ball game. Long overhead pass. Finds Jennings all alone. Tries to get it back. Peterson with the captain's effort. Just keeps possession with the Cobras.
Shot clock under 10.
Jennings inside to Exton. She's double teamed. She's fouled by Salon. Won't mind giving that one away. Would have preferred the ball. Actually, the foul has been called on Sweeney Spitzek.
Yeah, I think in a lot of those instances when you play against a player that has such a gravity and a great set of hands rolling to the basket and sealing like Lily Exton, you've almost the matchup that's guarding her, regardless of whether you're switching or not, has got to just keep separation and be between her and the hoop, and then bring your help from wherever it is that you're wanting to, but you've got to go and make a play at the ball and impact the ball on the dribble. You can't swipe at it as she's rising up to shoot it. She's too strong. She plays through the hands and then she gets on the free throw line out of it.
Exton 0 from 2 from the line. Not a great result there for the Cobras. Given away there. Cleans up Hannah Day. Calling for some help. Fakes past the screen. Guarded closely there by Sweeney Spitzek. Stolen by the Thunder. Free real estate if she can find it. McMahon played for the foul.
Oh, wow.
Gets the bucket, and we have a ball game on our hands. 57 Cobras, 55 Thunder. 5.5 minutes remaining in the fourth. It's a loud house here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. Exton spills it loose. Foul is called. Sideline ball.
That's okay. You still have momentum. It's still a valuable position to be in.
McMahon has fouled out of the game. That's her 5th and final for the game. Are we going to have a timeout? We are going to have a timeout to the Cobras. So it's a double-edged sword, really. The swing of momentum has gone the Thunder's way. However, McMahon, who has herself 12 points, also has 5 fouls, and that's her last contribution for the game.
Yeah, look, unfortunate, but you've got to move on. You know, if I speak from experience, the grand final that I was able to win as head coach of the Bendigo Braves 2 seasons ago, we had our centre, Megan McKay, who was the MVP of the competition, get into foul trouble for the whole first 3 quarters, barely played a second, and played her about 10 minutes total, including what she played in the fourth. Amy Atwell fouled out in that particular game. So I say all of that, not to make it about me, but to say you can play without key people. You've just, as layman as it is, you've got to get on with it, and it's the next player up. I wouldn't, if I'm Coach Jarvis, be mentioning anything about foul count, anything about Orla McMahon being fouled out of the ball game. Just who's next? What do they need to do? It creates an opportunity for them, perhaps, to switch everything. You know, maybe not with Sarah Carr. They've gone a like for like, big for big trade-off. But you know,
she has done well in her limited minutes off the bench as well.
You can come in, and you have to come in and play fearlessly and be a functioning part, get involved in the action. You know, I'm going to use a cliche here, but a lot of it is visible to anybody in the crowd. Are you playing to win, or are you playing not to lose?
That is the question that is going to be answered in the next 5.5 minutes. Defensive chance ring around the stadium. Tipped there by Sweeney Spitzek. She's done well in this fourth quarter. Salon keeps it alive. The ball is out of bounds, and that's Thunder basketball.
So the defensive pressure has gone up a level. I mentioned earlier that they lead the competition in an average game in points off turnovers and fast break points if you combine them. 26 across the course of a game for those 2 statistics combined. So that's their identity. They got 5 minutes left in this season to try and lean into that.
Salon brings it up, finds Peterson. Peterson finds Sweeney Spitzek down low. Spins one way and another, can't get past. Carr fakes around, puts up the shot. Bounces free, who gets it? Thunder, of course. Second chance points is on offer, and they cash in. The Thunder have taken back the lead And we are in disbelief here at Kilsyth Sports Centre.
Wow.
Unreal. 58 plays 57. Keilor Thunder lead in the fourth quarter. This is not a drill. This is not a joke.
It's a 16-0 quarter.
Unbelievable. Finally stems the bleeding, does Exton, but it's still a 1-point ball game. Cobras take the lead back, and it's going to be back and forth all night long for the rest of the night. Swinny Spitzek fakes the three, drives it, gets it to go. Who's going to hold their medal? You grit your teeth and you just go to work. Defensive chance ringing around from the Thunder crowd. Both teams just playing slower now. Spilled loose, great hands. Caitlin Peterson gets the steal.
Now, I mentioned the body language tinfoil hat that I've got here next to me. I'm going to put that on my head. That possession, steal and push of the ball. 3 Kilsyth Cobras players with the last 3 people over the halfway line. So it could be fatigue, could be doubt seeping in, could be some stress or worry. You can't have that. You've been able to open up a really good lead, and you're a high-quality basketball team. You've got to find their mojo here, the Cobras, to get back into it.
Pressure creates diamonds. What kind of diamonds are on display today? Size mismatch. Exton gets the better of Salon. Can't get the bucket to drop. Everyone holding their collective breath on every single play from here on. 3-point attempt is off the mark. Rebounds, Day.
That's the proverbial heat check.
Little 1-2 from the Cobras. Second chance points from Wilson. They steal back the lead. I'm not even going to mention the lead anymore.
Possession play matters. One thing that I do like, and could be an ace in the hole, you've got Arneson still to come in here, looking to get the next substitution opportunity from the Cobras.
Salon with the drive, thought she was denied cleanly. Referee has called the foul. She'll go to the line for 2. Arneson back in, as you called, Mark.
And interestingly, a small lineup gone on the floor.
Oh, they're making some noise in the snake pit. Salon shakes it off, gets the first to go. Tie ball game. Second one is no good. Thunder clean up the ball. 3-point attempt was thought about. Foul on the way to the bucket. Courts gets the better of Arneson. Potentially Wilson. The foul will be on Crystal Arneson.
So right now it's advantage to the Thunder, not only because of the momentum that they're playing with, but if I'm the Cobras, I'd like to see Exton back in the ball game. She's got 22 points, 13 rebounds, 6 of them offensive, but then knowing that the whole MO of the Thunder is to relentlessly rebound the ball, she's going to be the tallest player on the floor and such a rebounding presence not to allow them second chance opportunities. I'd like to see her and Arneson on the floor together.
2 for 2 from the free throw line. Thunder might have stripped it back. Jump ball. Stays Cobras. No, that is a foul.
Now, it's fair to say, if Keilor were a shark, they smell blood in the water right now.
100% they smell blood in the water. Cobras look to inbound through Jennings. Confirmation of that earlier foul, my apologies, was on Hannah Day. Wilson, little handoff to Jennings. Tries the reverse, no good. Salon surely has herself a double-double with that rebound. Ball is slapped out of bounds by McBean. 2:18 left.
Big-time defensive play there by McBean. That would be another example of, if you touch it, can you grab it? She locks up that possession, get him out of jail, but we still have another opportunity here for the Thunder.
A lot of bodies clashing on the inside. No foul given.
Here we go.
Inbound stripped. Here comes Arneson. Finds her teammate in McBean. Switches to the weak side. Three-pointer is on the mark. Still a 1-point ball game. The Cobras love it.
Cold-blooded 3.
Snakes are ready to strike. Can Thunder strike twice, however? Salon fakes the layup, goes out to Peterson for three.
Oh my.
Courts the three. Courts the three. It is back and forth basketball. It's a tie ball game. What are we watching? What are we even watching?
I feel like we just got put in a blender.
This is grand final basketball of the Victorian Youth Championship Women's Division. Keilor Thunder, Kilsyth Cobras tied at 66 apiece with less than 1 minute 20 to play on game day. Salon, the floater, the foul.
Now I'll point to the ball needs to be in Jazz Salon's hands early in the possession and late in the possession. She just has not only some gravity around her, but she's agile. She can leverage contact, gets herself on the free throw line here. You know, I mean, every point matters. I mean, I know that's really easy to say, but certainly here, she misses the first one.
But look at the body language of the Thunder. They might have missed the first one, but they are still up and about. They're still in this game. That's what you want to see from both these sides. Incredibly stressful circumstances, but pressure creates diamonds. Subs in, as you called, Exton back out on the floor.
I love this. Love this from Coach Walsh. Gets Exton back in. All you need is a possession, an offensive rebound. You need someone who can rebound a missed shot that looked threatening from the Thunder. Lily Exton is your go-to.
She goes head-to-head with Carr, finds Day all alone. Day with the bucket. Cobras take back the lead by one, 68-67, 1 minute 2 left. Who's going to hold their medal? Where is the composure greatest? Peterson step through on Arneson. Arneson gives away the foul. That will be just her second. Great work rate tonight here in today's grand final. Only her second foul.
Not sure I agree with that call. I thought that block was clean. I'd love to see, in a lot of ways, especially in a final, to allow the athletes and the talent of the athletes to determine the outcome.
Cobras fans love the missed first free throw. Second one is good. Tie ball game mark.
Yeah, we want to see whistles get put away and let these fantastic athletes determine who takes out the W.
McBean up top. Options moving about. Little screen from Exton. Dishes off to Jennings. Jennings to Day. Day spins down her left side. Pushes off. The foul will be on the sideline. Not in the attempt. 3.8 left on the shot clock. Do they call a timeout?
No. Looks like Coach Walsh is motioning for, or signaling rather, for a particular sideline play. Now, we haven't talked about this, Chris, but could we be headed for overtime?
Well, that word is banned until we're in it at Frankston. But now that you've mentioned it, we could be staring down the barrel of another 5 minutes of grueling basketball.
I mean, let me tell you, I wouldn't be opposed to it with the quality of this one.
100%. Hannah Day, the shot's no good. Cleaned up by Peterson, stripped by Exton, taken back by Carr. Jump ball is the call, stays with the home side. 21 seconds remain, surely a timeout. Walsh is staying ever so composed and not budging. Referee's just having a bit of a conversation, not sure what about. Okay, they were discussing whether it was a foul or a jump. They've settled on the jump. Walsh does take a timeout. Coach Walsh, tie ball game. 21.5 remaining. 14 on the shot clock for the Cobras. Now, give me a brief perspective on both sides.
Yes.
on the very next play.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see happening for the Cobras, and what do the Thunder need to come up with the ball?
Well, you need to pump the ball inside as a catalyst for something. I mean, certainly Exton has to contest the rebound wherever it is if she's not the shooter. But if you're Keilor, you've got to get the ball in safely. I would chew as much of this 14 seconds as possible and get a shot off at the end of it, and then go like buggery to the offensive glass. Try to see if you can create something or come up with the ball. You want to lock up possession as much as possible. Now, if you're Keilor, whole lot of pressure because, I mean, right from the inbound, you've got 5 defenders on the floor. They've got 4 offensive players. So you can gamble and go after something. You don't want to foul, and you don't want to foul a shooter in this 14 seconds. Make life as tough as possible. Come up with the ball because you'll still have, on clock, 7.5 seconds at the very least to be able to push the ball. You've got tremendous runway ahead of you. You've arguably got the team that's playing the fastest in transition to finish out the game. You can get something really aggressively or get on the free throw line.
Both teams in the bonus. Any fouls from here on will result in free throws. Referee has established the line in which we cannot cross. And here comes the last 21 seconds of regulation. McBean, the ever-reliable hands, holding the ball up, chewing the clock as much as she can. 4 left on the shot clock. McBean around traffic, drives the baseline, steps out of bounds. Thunder basketball. She was denied on the shot. Another timeout. Timeout, Keilor. You imagine they're going to advance the ball and draw up something on the offensive end. 9.3 remaining here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. This could come down to a clutch play or overtime, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, look, I mean, you've got to try and defend as cleanly as you can for 9 seconds. So given that it's under the threshold of 14, it would be smart for Coach Jarvis to advance the basketball and get it as far away from the Cobras basket as possible. And then, I mean, if it's my call, I'm trying to get something that involves Jazz Sallin with the basketball and Caitlin Peterson involved setting the screen and then giving them a whole lot of space to make the play that they see. But I would be asking of them to hunt the paint as quickly as they can, try and get a shot up probably in and around the 3-second mark, maybe just under. And then, I mean, they do such a wonderful job, I've mentioned multiple times, out of their offensive rebounding rate is 41%. Can you get something that baits the referee into a potential foul call? You get a layup type shot, even if it's contested, just get it up on the glass and then leverage your pursuit of the extra possession. Maybe you get a tip in, maybe you get an alley-oop, maybe you get a foul on one of those 2 things, and you could be shooting free throws. So
circumstances favor the Thunder in every regard.
Absolutely.
The Cobras have no timeouts left. The Thunder have 1.
You've got to stay ultra clean, stay in your cylinder, but know that it's not the first shot that generally beats you. You've got to contest it, then rebound the second one.
Wilson trying to put off the inbound of Courts. Final few seconds. Salon plays off the screen from Carr. What's the play going to be? Salon dribbles back, gets a little floater. It's no good. Mark, we are headed to overtime at Kilsyth Sports Centre. Final score at the end of regulation, 68 points apiece. Could you have seen this coming after 3/4 time? We might have said, it might have been the commentator's curse.
Man.
Kilsyth were peering at the championship at the end of 3/4. Now we're looking down the gun of overtime. 5 minutes of play. Fouls reset. Timeouts do not.
Well, this is true. And look, I mean, we look at body language. They're certainly up and about, and momentum plays a really critical role the longer that you can leverage it, right? Now, I would say if the Thunder were going to comfortably win, they needed to win it in regulation. That's not to say they won't run away with it here in the OT period, but certainly Kilsyth now gets a chance to take a deep breath. They won 3/4 pretty convincingly. Arguably had a slide in that last quarter, weathered all of the storm to finish the game tied. So you've taken Keilor's best shot. If you're Coach Walsh, you're selling, we just need to win 5 minutes. And arguably we've won like 30 of them, in the ball game thus far. So draw strength from and confidence from the things that are real and tangible. And I'd steer them back towards process-oriented goals. Punch it inside, rebound the ball, offensive glass, where possible, pop back into your zone, which has continued to give the Thunder fits. But the thing that Coach Walsh has to solve now is how do you alleviate pressure so that it's not another 5-minute period of deflection, Thunder pounce on it, 2-on-1 layup. You don't want to be playing that ball game against a dangerous team like Keilor.
Need to be efficient on both ends of the court in offense and defense, more critically so. Timeouts have reset, one apiece. I thought that might have been the case. One apiece, but you'd still argue that the momentum favors Thunder ever so slightly. A 26 to 11-point fourth quarter. The undoing of Kilsyth's hard work through the first three definitely takes the winds out of the sails a little bit, regardless of how good and composed and locked in your team are. There is a little bit of disappointment and bitter taste in the mouth.
Yeah, but you get a chance to start again. So I think having this little break, and it's obviously like a mini timeout, you get a chance to try to disarm or diffuse as much of that instinct as possible. Like, hey, it's okay. We've got 5 minutes process-wise to go and win. And, you know, where are our points of difference? 17 offensive rebounds, you know, massive, really dominant. 20 free throw attempts, of which they've made 17. That's where your bread is going to be buttered if you're the Cobras. To the contrary, you know, points in transition if you're Keilor, cranking up the defensive pressure, forced 16 turnovers, the bulk of those in that fourth quarter, and paid dividends for you. You know, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double-digit scorers. So we talked about how do you cover Macy Boyle? It takes a village. The village is producing, or had produced, in that fourth quarter.
The Thunder is rumbling. The Cobra is looking to defend their home turf. 5 minutes of overtime begins. And it all comes down to this, you'd imagine. Anything can happen on game day. Sweeney Spitzek fakes the shot. Ball's kept by the Thunder. Courts. Little dish off Sweeney Spitzek. Clean hands from Arneson. Great defensive play. Little crisscross dribble. Arneson strips it. Takes out the advertising. Ball stays with the Thunder. Phenomenal effort there.
And you're trying to stack these small wins, right? So a great opportunity to get around Arneson and praise her for that defensive effort. She was on an island one-on-one and got the job done.
Shot clock violation. Caught us all off guard. 4 minutes 35 left in overtime. Shot clock resets.
So just lacks the awareness. Now, I mean, I'll give you another analogy. Often in these games, it's 4 or 5 possessions that define the outcome, and it's little 50-50s or you know, times that you might capitalize on a small advantage or forget and create a disadvantage for yourself.
Skyhook by Wilson is good. Kilsyth 70, Keilor 68.
It's a case in point. You know, not knowing the shot clock could be problematic.
I think that was a bit of an outlier personally. They have been very good and very aware all game long, the Thunder. Arneson, great defensive effort, keeps the ball alive, stripped back by Peterson. That's a captain's effort right there.
She's been tremendous. She's stepped up after half-time. You could argue she's been the best player on the floor.
Salon to Peterson for 3! The Thunder bench is up and about. Thunder are back up by 1. Here comes Jennings down the left. Got it by Salon. McBean to Wilson. Wilson, little handoff to Arneson. They're swinging the ball around, keeping it up top. Exton drives against Carr. Little bump. Gets the layup to go.
Now, there's multiple ways that you can get 3 points, right? And this is going to be such a layman thing I'm about to say. The catch and shoot 3 earlier, but this 3-point play, the old, like, 3 points the old-fashioned way, both of those things are like examples of the identity of both of these teams, right? So what's going to be the difference? Can you pump it inside if you're the Cobras? Play through contact, get on the free throw line. If you're Keilor, play fast, play with space, generate paint touches, but opportunities where you have 2 defenders on the ball and it lands in a kick-out 3-point shot that you can hit.
3-point play by Exton puts the Cobras up, by 2. 73-71. It's been a seesawing affair. Salon outsized, outmatched, stolen by Arneson. No one in front of her. Free real estate. Tipped the ball. Everybody expected the foul. Nobody expected the cleanup. McBean, 2 points.
Possession play, Chris. Possession play wins.
Peterson just slowing it up ever so slightly. Sweeney Spitzek for three, no good. Rebound, Cobras by Day. Stolen back by Peterson. What's the call?
What hustle.
It is a blocking foul on Thunder's Caitlin Peterson. Could have gone either way, I thought, that one. That's her fourth personal. So it could be problematic if she gives away one more. I think that's going to be a hard road to come back from for the Thunder.
It's just great hustle there from Olivia Jennings. So now she goes to the free throw line. A chance to open up this lead.
Still lead by 4 for the time being. 2 minutes 48 remaining in overtime.
Now, if you're Keilor, while it's still part of your identity, you can't fall in love with the three-point shot.
Nope.
So there's 5 points the difference. You know, again, you'll make this up by getting paint touches, getting on, or maybe you will. Hey, Chris, what do I know? What do I know?
It's not like you're a coach or anything. What do you know? Three-pointer from Peterson at the right time. Stems the bleeding just a little bit. We're back to a 2-point ball game. Exton goes to work against Peterson. No good. Great positioning there from the Thunder captain. Sweeney Spitzek, who's had a great game off the bench, providing the spark where the Thunder have needed it so. Back out to Salon. Thought about a three. Gets rejected by McBean. Keeps possession. I think they're satisfied with holding onto the ball. 6 on the shot clock. They can't get caught out here. They're aware.
They are. So that being communicated throughout the group. You know, fantastic adjustment. They don't want to give up a possession.
Peterson heads ahead with Arneson. Tries to step through. Can't get it to go. Sweeney Spitzek rejected by Arneson. That could be game-changing for the Cobras. Day going head-to-head with Carr. Can't get past her. Exton, ball being shared. McBean back to Exton on the inside. Double teamed. No foul given. Open three for Jennings is short. Ball spilled by Courts. She's frustrated. Get that frustration out. Get back in the game.
Now, I'd like to see more of Lily Exton's feeds or touches to come closer to that smile, closer to the basket, where she doesn't have to do anything other than pivot and shoot it, and she's still in rebounding range.
Inbound is overcooked. Salon, free real estate. Surely. 2 points off a great steal there. Jazz Salon has had herself a game.
She's up to 13 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals.
Day thought about the three, finds Jennings on the weak side. Mishandled. Back to Arneson. Arneson finds Exton all alone. Great vision there. Great vision, great awareness. Simple but phenomenal. Salon off the screen from Carr. Size mismatch. Gives it up to Peterson. Footwork is good from Salon. The bucket, just as good.
MVP watch.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay, let me plant this seed again.
Go on.
Double OT.
Oh, why not? Why not?
I think I suggested it about 40 seconds ago in the last one.
A shadow. Stripped by Salon. Ball is loose. Desperate shot attempt. Second attempt from Exton. Blocked by Carr. Third attempt is good.
That's why you have Lily Exton on the floor, and that's why you put her near the hoop.
Kilsyth 80, Keilor 78. 19-18 left on the clock. Step back three is no good. Peterson gets the rebound, steps out of bounds. It will be Cobra's ball. Timeout on the floor. Timeout. Kilsyth lead 80, Keilor 78, 14.8 seconds remaining in overtime, and the ball stays with the home side. Both sides in the bonus. We're going to see free throws if there's a foul given away. Can we see another phenomenal defensive strip is what I want to know.
Well, the challenge is you're not going to get the ball back, right? So technically speaking, all they would need to do to be able to get two hands on the cup, so to speak, if you're the Cobras, is hold possession, get a shot up late on the clock, and it's all over Red Rover. If you're Keilor, you need to gamble for a steal here and go after it, which they're very, very capable of. Or I think you need to foul. So it would be a great use of your assistants here to work out like who on that Cobras lineup that they're about to put back on the floor are the shooters that shoot a lower percentage this season from the free throw line. You want to foul someone, ideally who's not going to make either, but if they make one, well then you're still only one shot away. You can take your timeout. Coach Jarvis has one remaining, and you need a three to be able to tie it back up. So that would be the game plan from both teams. If you're Kilsyth, get a safe catch, safe set hands. You want to do the opposite of those things. Put the ball in the hands of somebody who can make free throws. And you want to be strong with the basketball. The last thing you would want rather, is to cough the ball up and give them a chance to get out and run. 14 seconds is plenty of game time.
Shot clock is turned on. 0.8 seconds, the difference. Everyone holding with bated breath. Inbound Cobras. They're holding up the ball. They're happy to chew the clock down and make the Thunder work for it. Ball finds its way to Arneson. Foul given away by Peterson. Kilsyth just getting around Arneson, just reassuring her that she's got this. She'll head to the line for two. Sub in for the Cobras. Wilson back on the floor for Hannah Day.
So Arneson, a 72% free throw shooter across the course of the season.
Misses the first.
Now,
timeout still on the cards for Keilor.
Yeah, if she makes this one, Coach Jarvis likely calling a timeout.
That's exactly what's happened. 3 points, Cobras up for good. Timeout, Keilor, they'll advance the ball surely. 6.5 remaining. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. The challenge that you have now is that you need to orchestrate a three-point shot. So it's evident to everybody in the building what the shot type is that you're looking for and you're trying to create. Now, the best defensive coverage to take away the three-point shot is switching. So you would switch everything that occurs, whether it's a screen on the ball or off the ball, and you want to be like uber clean defensively. You don't want to foul anybody, contest the three, live with the outcome of a highly contested three. Things that you can do, you can have your players push the ball or screeners up a touch so that the three-point shot comes deeper, as deep as possible. You want to increase the level of challenge. But you're not fussed to give up a two-point shot.
No.
There is a world, if this were in Europe, where teams would foul intentionally up three, because if we foul you, you can only make two, 1 and 1. Like, you can't get that third one, or you've got to rely on making the first and then missing the second and tipping it and whatever. More variables. So interesting what tact they take here in order to try and get one stop. One stop wins it.
One stop wins it, 1-3 ties it. We all know what they're looking for. Thunder hold it up. 5 seconds. 4. Salon with a long... Oh my goodness me! Tie ball game. A set Steph Curry range 3. We're going to double overtime at Kilsyth Sports Center. Final score at the end of overtime 181 apiece.
And it's the beautiful thing about basketball and how when you coach and your tactical decisions to help your team or put your team in a position to be successful, it's just a game of percentages, right? You're trying to make, if you're the Cobras, that shot be as difficult as possible, high level of difficulty, near the Cobras sticker on the floor. Jazz Salon take a bow, knocks it down, sends this one into double OT.
Quick look at the score sheet, 81 points apiece. The qualifying final of 2 weeks ago, now a distant memory. These two teams will have had that game etched into the back of their minds heading into this one. We are We are in double overtime, 81 points apiece. Top scorers for the Cobras, Georgia McBean has been phenomenally on show. 17 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, a couple of steals. Shout out to Olivia Jennings, who has a great double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Hannah Day, another great contributor, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. And talk about Lily Exton.
Yeah.
She has 29 points, 17 rebounds. At this level of basketball, almost feels criminal, Mark.
Yeah, special athlete. That's the only word that comes to mind. Creates possessions by being around the basket, keeping the ball alive, gets on the free throw line, plays through contact. Man, what about the game from Jazz Sallin? Jazz Sallin, Caitlin Peterson, you know, their usual suspects. My longtime assistant coach, Nathan Batchelor, who coached with me and coached the Youth League women's team at the Bendigo Braves, had many the tussle with those two athletes. Had some special basketball games, and we're witnessing yet another one that these two athletes from Keilor are involved in.
The depth of players probably slightly favours the Cobras. Peterson, McMahon done for the game. Exton back out there. Cobras get us back underway. Sallon has not had a break. She's played all 45 minutes of basketball. Peterson shortly there behind her, 7 seconds shy. Exton hesitates down the right. McBean tries to find Exton on the give and go. Little bump. Shot's no good. Double team on the second attempt. Out to Wilson for 3. Just off the mark. Sallon gets another rebound. She's 1 short of a triple-double in a championship game. Step through. No good. Out-rebounded by Exton quite easily.
That's where I say that's why you have Lily on the floor, because the relentless pursuit of this Thunder team, super damaging, but Exton is a rebounding machine.
Foul calls. It will be on Thunder's Sarah Carr, just her third for the game. Wilson subs out. Hannah back into the game. Exton to the line. On the day, an 81% free throw shooter, and she continues that trend. Has herself 30 points. She has so much to come in her fledgling career. You said she was an under-18s player still. She has so much time, so much potential. I look forward to seeing what she does in the future.
Well, she's going to garner quite a lot of US college interest, especially being able to perform the way she has been in a big game like this.
Rebound Carr tips to advantage Sallon. Guarded very well. Escapes the clutches of Exton, gets the shot away, but not the rebound. Exton holds it up for the Cobras. Cobras up 83-81, 3:45 on the clock. I'm not even going to say time remaining anymore at this point. Day to McBean in the corner, brings it back up top. Goes right around, spreading the floor quite nicely. Jennings on the turn, gets it to drop ever so nicely. They find themselves up by 4.
The user-friendly roll, I think they call it.
That's the one. Sallon to Sweeney Spitzek, fakes the shot, takes the drive, thought she might have been fouled. Arneson cleans up the boards. Tipped! Sweeney Spitzek denied again, stolen back by Carr, fouled in the process. It will be Cobra's ball, and that's got to be the 4th on Sarah Carr.
Unlucky. The tenacity that they played with on that possession was huge. The downfall was taking the dribble. Rebound the basketball. There's no window or no more, if we can say, openness to be able to take the next shot than the moment that you catch the ball.
Hannah Day to the line. On the day, perfect free throw shooting thus far. Keeps it up. She's 100%, 6 from 6 from the charity stripe. 5-point ball game now.
Now remember, she was scoreless up until halftime. They got her going with the first orchestrated offense of the second half.
7 from 7 from the line for the Cobras skipper. She has herself 13 points now. Sallon, quadruple teams, finds the open player in Sarah Carr. Cleaned up the board, Sweeney Spitzek. Okay, holding up. It's a game of chess. It's a game of inches. Sal on the 3, off the back iron. Rebound taken by Arneson. And the Cobras have themselves a little bit of breathing room, but cannot afford to stop.
If they get a score here, Coach Jarvis would be best served to look at stalling some of this run with a timeout.
McBean happy to hold it up. Guarded by Courts. Swings one way. Goes right around traffic. Exton, mismatch in the paint. Could have taken it. Three-pointer. Hannah Day rattles the rim. Second chance points is good from McBean. No timeout called. We're going to play out the remaining 2 minutes. It's an 8-point ball game in the favor of the Cobras, the home team, making one step towards that championship trophy. Three-pointer on the mark, but overcooked. Cobras ball.
And one thing that's particularly noticeable to me, and I've seen the last 2 games of this Kilsyth Cobras team, there's a very heightened awareness on the location of Hannah Day. Knowing how dangerous she is as a three-point shooter, they're always very aware of where she is, and they try to get her the basketball when the dominoes are falling and hoping that she's on the end of it so that she can get a three-point shot out of the play.
Day spins, spits, Sweeney Spitzak, clean strip. Nice dish. Three-point attempt is good. Courts nails the 3, draws the foul. Opportunity for an unimaginable 4-point play in the second of double overtime, Mark.
That's a big-time 3. I mean, look, it puts them now back into the ball game with a minute and a half to play, but there's still some work to do. Need to knock this down and climb in with ball pressure. They'd be best served to go to that 2-2-1 press that they were in earlier. A rush shot is as good as a steal.
A 4-point play. Timeout still up the sleeves of both Coach Jarvis and Neil.
And opting to just play man-on-man, or match-up defense, rather.
1:22, 10 on the shot clock. McBean guarded by Cullen.
Time is your friend.
Exton on the elbow, guarded closely by Carr. Outmuscles her to the bucket. The Kilsyth crowd getting louder with each bucket that passes.
Wow.
Just over a minute remaining.
I believe that's 33 points and 19 rebounds so far.
The set for 3 is off the mark. Ball is loose. Carr had a foot on the line as she grabbed the ball. Cobras ball. Can you recall a more frantic, frenetic game in recent history, Mark?
At any level, no. I mean, this is phenomenal.
48 seconds left, 16 on the shot clock. Cobras hold the ascendancy by 6 points. 91 plays 85. Arneson goes around traffic. Flicks back to McBean down the middle. Fouled. Have we come to the point in the game where it's hack-a-shack basketball?
Well, I mean, the clock's not the Thunder's friend, right? So they need to try and stall it to create more possessions, more shots, and they've shown their potency, especially in clutch moments from the three-point line. They're 2 shots behind right now, with Georgia McBean having the opportunity to extend it to needing 3 shots to win. But she knocks even just this next one down. This probably ices the game, but hands on her knees, the poor athlete's absolutely buggered. She's put in a big day's work. 19 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals.
Second one is no good. Here come Keilor.
Need a quick shot if you're the Thunder.
Surely the 3, no good. Cobras rebound via McBean, and she gets around everyone. Arneson fouled. Surely the circumstances remain the same with even less time on the clock now. She did miss a free throw earlier.
That might be all she wrote. If Arneson can knock one of these down.
She knocks it down. It's a 7-point buffer, and that surely ices the game. Arneson coolly 2 from 2. Thunder are not going anywhere. They're calling a timeout. 21 seconds remain in the second of double overtime. 85 Keilor, 93 Kilsyth. Credit to their persistence, but I feel this one is done, Mark.
Yeah, it could be just out of reach, but I mean, the word that comes to mind for both of these programs at different times is gallant. To be able to wrestle back ascendancy and show, I mean, look, only one team can win the championship, but both have shown championship medal at different times within this ball game to put themselves in a position to win or run away with it, and then credit to the opponent, whoever is down, has been able to find the fortitude within, lean into their identity, and get themselves back into the contest.
This has been a phenomenal showing of basketball here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. This game naturally has spilled over into the start of the boys' Victorian Youth Championship final, so we will see a delay to that game. But what a phenomenal show, what a spectacular event this first game has been. And a quick side note, credit to Kilsyth Basketball to have two teams in the grand final at home, a feat not easily achieved.
And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, look, I want to heap praise on both of these clubs and their programs, but if I'm not mistaken, Kilsyth has the most teams in their junior program in Vic Championship, in VC, which is phenomenal. I believe it's something like 13 teams through the boys and the girls program. Keilor not far behind. It might only be one behind at 12 if my memory serves me correct. But in terms of burgeoning programs where, you know, the accumulation of all of the coaching and the effort from people, players and coaches combined, they've created this, a fantastic spectacle in the VYC final.
Foul. Everyone almost looking for a three. Do appreciate the Thunder have not taken their foot off the gas and instead readjusting. It's almost a secondary level of composure in a way when you really have a hard reset, especially this deep in the game. First free throw is good. Carr makes it 1 from 2. Covers with possession, just holding on to it. Thought that might have been a clean steal. Referees say otherwise. That'll be on Cullen, her 5th for the game, and that's 3 players that have fouled out for the Thunder. You'd imagine that might have contributed to the difference in terms of depth this late in the game as well, but what a team the Thunder have been on the day.
Absolutely, and look, I mean, we talk about Macy Boyle not being available for this one, likely with NBL 1 duties, who also have a final tonight. She leaves a big hole. They've done a spectacular job of filling that void of production that she brings and being able to change their identity. But look, credit to Coach Jarvis. She's built a perennial winner and contender at Keilor.
Oh, this game's still not over.
Jazz Allen still playing to win.
Gives away the foul, 1.6 left, and surely that's all she wrote.
But you see that the best programs, or the ones that achieve continual success, are the ones that they'll back their head coach and they give them time, knowing that a perennial winner and contender doesn't get built overnight. It takes multiple seasons. And certainly, you know, Coach Jarvis has done that, and Coach Walsh has done a fantastic job here as Kilsyth about to put the icing on the cake and win a very well-deserved VYC championship.
It also feeds into the future when these feed into the NBL 1 programs. It bodes well for these clubs going forward.
Yeah, exactly, and it's important to have that flow through.
At the end of the 2025 season, Kilsyth Cobras have taken out the Victorian Youth Championship Women's Division with a stunning win in double overtime over the Keilor Thunder here at Kilsyth Sports Centre. Final score on the day, Kilsyth 97, Keilor 89. What a spectacular game it has been. We cannot sing the praises enough of both these teams, both these organizations, and so many players on both of these rosters. But the time and the shine goes to the Cobras.
just a wonderful example of basketball. I mean, look, I'll heap praise on both of these teams. Just one last time to have a team, in essentially the southeast with Kilsyth, the team out in the west-northwest with Keilor, both fantastic programs. It shows the strength of basketball in Victoria. It's alive and well. I believe 55% of the country's basketball participation is played here, and the iron sharpens the iron, and it gives us games like what we witnessed tonight.
Unbelievable. Did not know what we were scheduled in for, but what a spectacle it has been. Kilsyth just coming out on top at the end of double overtime. Victorian basketball is alive and thriving in every sense of the word. We're going to have a trophy ceremony and the ceremonial cutting of the net before replacing it for the very next game as well. But talk to me, Mark. We look at the team sheets, and I think we know who the MVP is for the day, but give me your insights.
Look, it's going to be hard to go past, a number of these athletes you can make a case for, but hard to go past the impact of Lily Exton, and especially statistically, 33 points, 19 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Her effectiveness on the game, 42. By far the most impactful player on the floor, but if we give honourable mentions, we stay with Kilsyth. I talked about the impact of Georgia McBean, played all 50 minutes, 19 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, had the ball in her hands for the majority of the night for the Cobras. A cameo appearance from Olivia Jennings. Hannah Day starting, arguably pretty cold by her standards, and then having a wonderful second half, getting involved up to the 18 points and had a real impact on winning for this team. And then we look at the runners-up, Keilor. Jazz Salon played all 50 minutes as well, 21 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, nearly a triple-double from her. Made that massive clutch 3 that we saw to take it into 2 OT. Peterson came alive and responded after halftime to put them back into a winning position, had the 15 points herself, and Hayley Courts, a very, very effective 22 and 6 as well. So we look at both of these teams. I think they both put up, as hollow as it may sound for the runners-up, winning efforts on the day. And only one team can win, and today it was the Kilsyth Cobras, as we see them go around the court and high-five their fans. I mean, this connection's wonderful. Being part of your community, promoting your juniors, backing your coaches and believing in them and sticking with them through good times and bad, having flow through, from the junior program to VYC to NBL1. This is what it's about. This is what happens with winning programs. And these two clubs are both examples of those things.
By the same token, there's a great show of camaraderie and teamwork and community over by the Keilor side. There is a lot of emotion and a lot of tears and hugs being shared around, but they've all gotten around each other as soon as the game is finished, knowing that they're there for each other. So it's great to see from both sides the level of community and sportsmanship they have with each other. So I have to agree with your MVP pick, but so many spectacular contributors on the day. Little disappointed only just that Jazz Salon missed out on a triple-double, but she had a phenomenal work rate. And a quick shout-out to Crystal Arneson as well. Had herself 8 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and a game-high 3 blocks to go with that. Any of these girls made a huge impact on this game, but what a phenomenal show it's been. We're going to hand over to the game day staff, but I've been Chris Cimento. Mark, it's always a pleasure to have your company, sir. I
appreciate you, and what a game we were able to witness tonight. It was exciting to be able to take the call with you and share some insights and watch a wonderful game of basketball from both of these clubs, and congratulations to the Kilsyth Cobras.
Your 2025 Victorian U Champions, Kilsyth Cobras take the win. Final score once again, 97 Cobras, 89 Kilsyth in double 89 Keilor in double overtime. It's been a game. It's time for us to wrap up. We're going to sign off here from Kilsyth Sports Centre. Thank you for your company from wherever in the world you've been watching, and we hope you have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. Kilsyth Cobras take on the Frankston Blues next, whenever that might be, in the Victorian Youth Championship men's division shortly after this.